Hello guys, Leoni Joyce here. If you are new to this channel, thank you so much for clicking on. If you're returning, welcome back. Welcome to the Bachelor recaps. We're starting at episode 2. I was going to recap episode 1. I did, but I had some technical difficulties getting that uploaded. But we're here now, and that's all that matters. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, just to let you know, I will be using my phone for my notes. And I have a glass of wine with me. I intend to have a glass of wine at all times when recapping because it's the Bachelor. Bachelor Nation, come on, we love ourselves a glass of red. Okay, so we start with a flash forward scene and we see Lauren, one of the sisters, throwing a cake and angry. And I'm just like, okay, what's going on? But I know we're going to get into that in a bit. She's been bringing the drama so far. At the time, I'm interested to see what she's going to be like throughout the season. Spoiler alert, we know what happens to her. She goes home. So yeah, then we cut back to the beginning and it's Joey playing tennis with Jesse Palmer. Very random, but just talking about the week ahead. And then we get to see the women moving into the mansion and Jesse arrives with the date card. Can I just say, I love The Bachelor, guys. I love the whole franchise. And I can't wait to be recapping this. I'm excited it's back. Joey is a great Bachelor. You guys didn't get to see any of my thoughts from the first episode. But what a great Bachelor. I know we're in for a great season. So the girls I caught from what Jesse said that get a date on the date card, so it's a group date. We have Rachel, Taylor, Kelsey T, Erin, Erica, Maria, Lauren, Jess, Maria. Okay, I said Maria as well. I do really like Maria. Evelyn, if I've missed any, my bad. But yeah, so they get the first group date. And it's a bridal date. And I'm like, okay. But it's not the bridal date I think it is. Because usually, obviously, it's like the photo shoot bridal date. And they have to try and take the best picture with Joey. I actually really like this date. And I like what they did here. It was different. The different stages. I was here for it. The Bachelor producers are producing. So, sorry, I got ahead of myself. So we see them trying to pick which dress it is that they want to wear. They're running around, going crazy, people are falling over trying to get the perfect dress. And does anyone else ever wonder, right? So with these dresses, like with these dates when they're picking outfits, how do they know their sizes? Because whatever outfit they pick fits them perfectly. Which leads me to believe as much as they're like rushing to try and pick something, do producers already have decided what each person is going to wear? Comment below if you know the answer. So they're in the limo on their way to the date, and then Lauren reveals, who's one of the sisters, that their dad recently passed away, which I was not expecting. And I'm like, damn, this is definitely going to be a hard date for her, obviously, like imagining your wedding and then having to remember your dad's not there. And I'm wondering, like, how long ago was it that he passed away? And fast forward, when she does speak to Joey, we see it was only 7 months ago. So it's still really, really fresh. And in my head, what I'm thinking is, like, if Lauren decides to speak to Joey about this on the date, like, rightly so. Because it's a thing, right? Women always, like, open up about share their like deepest and most vulnerable feelings and moments with the Bachelor. Her sister Allison, obviously, she's also lost her dad. So once Lauren opens up, like, Allison doesn't need to say anything anymore. And it'll be like, I don't know, it's an interesting dynamic just seeing how that's all gonna play out. So then we find out the bride who impresses him the most gets like some special time with him. Bring in the competition element. I love it. So first we have the musical chairs part of the date. And so they're going around and the winner obviously is the person, like, you have to try and sit closest to Joey when the music stops. Evelyn, the way she jumped over that table, insane. Like, get it. Yes. Could probably never be me. That jump was very impressive and she didn't seem to be injured after. Like, Evelyn, are you okay? Let us know. Yeah, so then he has to pick who he wants to, walk around and work the room with. He chooses Maria, who, again, first episode never came out, so you guys didn't know. I really like Maria. I like her confidence, even though it's still chill. It's not, like, too in your face, but I genuinely really, really like her. Also, she really reminds me of Lauren from Fifth Harmony. I don't know if it's the voice, maybe the look a bit, the chill vibes. Love her. She's up there in the top for me. Just not necessarily do I think she's going to win, but just I like her. Also, let's just take a moment. So we see Joey interacting with all the women. Joey is a good flirt. Like, if he looks at me the way he looks at these women, I'd pass out. Like, I'd think, yeah, he loves me. Oh my God. He's good. He's like a great bachelor. I'm so glad. Like, this is taking me back to when I first started watching The Bachelor. Like, he definitely is desirable. So we see Maria and Lauren having a conversation. And Lauren obviously opens up to Maria and is like, when you were talking about, you know, you're thinking about your wedding and your dad being there, it reminded me of the fact my dad had passed away. And it was really nice to see how Maria comforted Lauren, because sometimes it can be used as an opportunity for like the women to go at each other, and it was nice seeing them coming together. So then we get a moment with Jess and Joey together, and then the guests just randomly decide to start shouting, kiss, kiss. And I feel like that was definitely the producers. Surely the guests didn't think to do that on their own. And the women, Taylor especially, are not happy about this. Because obviously last episode, Jess was the one who got the first kiss and was sure to let the women know. Then we have Rachel. Rachel's speech, even just how she was like walking around with Joey, it was very much like giving like, they've been in like it was their wedding. How comfortable she was and walking around with him. I was like, okay, get it, Rachel. And then her speech was really good. Bit of shade to some of the women. But it was a really good speech. And I know it definitely probably stood out to Joey. And he was like, yes. That's what I was writing in my notes. And then when he has to pick the woman who won the whole date for him and gets to have the dance with him, he obviously chose Rachel. And then they get to have their first dance. You've got Michael Bolton performing When a Man Loves a Woman. Like, I was just looking at all. It genuinely felt like I was watching an actual wedding. Did you guys think the same? Like, it looked like a married couple. It genuinely looked like a married couple having their first dance. If I was the women, like, sat there watching, I'd be seething. I'd be like, yeah, I've lost this. I'd go home. I'd pack my bags. I'd go. And yeah, even Taylor says, like, they have really good chemistry. And you can see it, like... But again, Joey has good chemistry with a lot of these women. I'm starting to narrow down my final four, but I'm not 100% because... Joey is, I don't know, he's hard to read. He's got good chemistry with many, many people. So then we cut to the second part of the day and we see Joey saying the only person he didn't get to speak to was Lauren. So in my head I'm thinking, okay, let's see if he pulls her to speak to her because he didn't get to interact with her at all on the date. But Maria pulls him first. And Maria sits down with him and she's like, you know, this outfit is not comfortable. I want to slip into something more comfortable. So I'm like, okay, is she going to come out in lingerie or maybe a gown or maybe like a joke, really like baggy outfit? But she comes out in something equally as tight, I will say. But it's like this black lace number. She looks good. Joey definitely appreciates it. He can't keep his eyes or hands off her. He's lost for words. And then they share a kiss. And in this moment, I'm thinking, okay, she's got to be a front runner, right? So anyways, she goes back to the women and they're clocking that this is not the outfit you came in. And it's so funny seeing their faces. They're like... Okay, so we then see Joey speaking with Kelsey T. Now, not much happens. And like I said, my first episode never came out. But there is some chemistry there. I don't know if I'm overly reading into things. But I feel like she could be a sleeper or they're hiding her from us, but she's going to be a big player later on down the line. Because when they're together, there is this undeniable chemistry between the two of them. That's what I see. But again, Joey does seem to have good chemistry with many of the women. But I do feel like there's something there with Kelsey T. Comment below if anybody else feels the same. Also, comment below who you think are your, like, front runners so far. So then we see Jess bringing up how she's struggling with the girls. And I'm like, oh, God, she's going to use this as a chance to bring up to Joey and try and throw someone under the bus. And yeah, as expected, she does exactly that. But again, guys, I want to know, I hope I'm not alone in this. When she's speaking with Joey and she says she was in a relationship that had infidelity and she lost herself, and this whole experience, I guess, is triggering because the women, like, it just wasn't correlating. Like, I feel like it was an excuse to throw the women under the bus. The two didn't correlate to me. If anybody can see how it does correlate, comment below. Let me know your thoughts on that. Like, I am interested to know. Back to the house, the next date card comes in. It's a one-on-one. And it is Daisy, which I did see coming because their conversation on the first night, it was very sweet. And I was like, yeah, she could be a front runner. So yeah, then we see Lauren obviously letting Joey know about her dad having passed away. And his response to a lot of these women, because a lot of women were opening up about really heavy situations they had been through. And his response always is so reassuring and like comforting, and they can feel seen. Like, he did a really good job with everybody. It was a lot. He had to hear a lot and sit for a lot. He did really well. So the first impression rose goes to Jess. I do wonder, did Joey genuinely want to give this first impression rose to her? Or did the producers play a part in it because they knew obviously Taylor would not be happy about it? And she was seething when Jess gets the first impression rose. And she sat right next to Joey as well, which is awkward. So the next day we have Daisy going on her one-on-one date with Joey. And they go on a helicopter ride. And then they go to a festival, which would be one of my dreams. I would love being on the show and that being my date. Like, a festival is such a good date to get to know someone. I've been on a date with someone going to a festival and it was like amazing. Like, up there, one of my favorite dates I've been on. I've also been on a festival date with someone else, and after that day, I never saw that person again. Tell a lie, I did, because they moved to my apartment, like my apartment development, and I saw them in the gym and it was very awkward. So I did have to see them again, but I didn't want to. But that being said, it's like festival is a good way to get to know someone and just see how they like to have fun, and do you have a good time with them? Do they make the dull moments better? Do they suck out the joy of the good moments? Like, genuinely, I highly recommend going on to a festival with someone you're romantically interested in. They get to go on stage and watch Bahamas perform. Don't know them. That man, whoever it is, don't know. Daisy seemed to know. I'm wondering, did the producers let her know ahead of time? Or maybe they did know. I don't know. I have no idea who they are. Comment below if anybody knew Bahamas. Is it a band, a person? Anyway, if you knew, comment below. But also, can we just say, I'm sure we're all thinking it, right? Daisy seems so lovely and sweet. Like, I just want her to have the world. Joey has some amazing women. I don't know how he's going to pick. There's some great women here from what I'm seeing so far. So we get to the nighttime portion, and Daisy obviously finally lets Joey know about her hearing and everything surrounding that. And again, he just takes it in perfectly and is just so reassuring for her. And the way he actively listens, and it was just perfect. Like, Joey is, what a man, what a guy. Comment below, do you guys agree with me that he's so far a great bachelor? I don't see it going horribly wrong for him, like people turning against him. You never know with this franchise. You never know, but we'll see. So yeah, of course, Daisy does get the date rose. They have a little dance or sway, shall we say, on the rooftop, and a kiss. Very cute. And then it's the next day. It's a date with the other women. We get the mandatory, bachelor, no shirt on, working out. He's like flipping tires and stuff like, And yeah, 10 women arrive that are going to be going on the date with him. And then we have Jubilee and Demi come in as his friends. By the way, can we stop that? When the Bachelor or Bachelorette are like, I have some really good friends here to help me with. They're not your friends. You literally just met them in the green room right before filming this scene. You don't know those people. Anyways, we have Demi and Jubilee, who I love them both. I genuinely really wish Jubilee became Bachelorette. She was before even Rachel's time. I really like Jubilee. Anyway, we have them and they're going to be doing like training and working out, like my worst nightmare. They're like, you need to sweat. I'm like, oh no. And after that, they're like, yeah, that was just the warm-up. Yeah, I'd be like, I'm going home. Because now they have to do a paintball type battle to win Joey's heart. I'm like, two teams against each other. I'll be like, yeah, I'm out. I'm so sorry. I can be competitive, but physical like that, it's not for me. And so it's the ultimate paint battle, they're calling it. And from my understanding, the winning team gets to spend more time with Joey. And I'm like, yeah, that is a big fat no from me. I'm also like, the comparison to that and the wedding dress date, if that was me, I would definitely rather the wedding date. And if I had heard the date they had and I'm having to do paintball, I'd look at the producers like, why do you hate me? No, for real, why do you hate me? But yeah, and then you see like the way the paint is flying, the women are dropping. It's insane. I dropped to the floor and probably fake an injury. But Edwina is killing it. I'm like, she's a true MVP. And so I guess you could say Edwina was the blue team. They end up winning. And then they find out it's not the whole team that gets to go and spend time with Joey. It's just one person. I'm like, damn. But yeah, it ends up being Edwina, which rightly so. Like, she really carried that team, to be fair. She did her thing. And yeah, everyone else stays home because they obviously go home, get cleaned up, get dressed up. That is cruel. So they all dress waiting, like, who's going to get to have a date with Joey? That's mean. But I just want to say, cheers to you, Edwina. I respect your reaction. She was like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm not going to lie about it. Because, some people would be, like, shy and bashful and just like, oh, yeah, it's good, but, I feel bad for you guys. She was like, no, I'm glad. I worked hard. This is what I wanted. I respect that. Also, her dress, that high neck, little draping at the back, I need me a dress like that. She had a dress like that. Maria later on in the episode has a dress like that. I need to get one. I've got somewhere to go soon, and I'll probably wear it. But also what I love about Edwina is seeing, obviously she's a black woman on this show, rocking her braids, which I really love, and it looks cute. She does a little, updo. Her hair looks good. I love seeing that sort of representation on shows like this, because it is very far and few between, which, it is, yeah. Anyway. So she also has a deep, meaningful chat with Joey, speaking about being from an African family. She's from Liberia, I want to say, and being the oldest daughter and the struggle she has with that. She gets a bit emotional, which is really sweet. And again, Joey is just so receptive to what she's saying and just there for her. It's so, he just makes you feel so seen. And I think he's just a good person. And he'd do that with anyone, but do that with me, and in my head, you're in love with me. So we go back to the house, and Medina is talking about feeling insecure about being the oldest one there. She's 31. And I'm like, damn, if I was on this show, I would be the oldest, because I am 31, soon to be 32. So I'm like, I really would not feel like the oldest in the house, because yeah, that's crazy to think I would actually be the oldest in the house. Anyway, so she's feeling some type of way. Maria goes outside and she's talking to some of the girls, and she's saying, you don't need to feel that way. I'm 29, Joey's younger than us, fair, but what's age in this concept? It's not that big of an age gap or anything like that. And I do hear what Maria's saying, and we have Sydney overhearing and not hearing it properly, or maybe she does hear it properly, but chooses to switch up what it is that she heard and get messy. And I'm like, oh no, they're trying to suck Maria into the drama. And I'm like, no, I don't want her involved in any of this. I love it. She's probably my favorite. Do I think she's going to win? I'm not sure right now. I don't think so, but she is my favorite. But I think Sydney doing this, maybe she's threatened by her, and that's why she, because you have these girls, right? You have girls on The Bachelor that know they're probably not going to make it to the end. So they're like, do you know what? Let me stir up some drama and hopefully I land on Bachelor in Paradise. And I feel like that's part of what Sydney's doing. And I also do think she's threatened by Maria. Don't come for my girl. So we're now at the cocktail party. And we see Joey saying Lexi is one of the people he feels most confident about. And again, when I saw the first episode, she was someone I was like, one to watch. So still, one to watch. So Maria tries to speak to Medina about the issue at hand with the age and everything. And she's like, basically, I don't really want to speak to you right now. I'm about to speak to Joey. I don't want all of that to get like cross whatever, which fair play. So Maria like leaves her to it. So then Maria's like, okay, let's find out who is actually stirring this all up. And she finds out it's Sydney, and she's like, let's put this to bed. I wasn't trying to talk about her age. I was saying we shouldn't be making age a thing. We're not that old. And I'm so glad she was really trying to fight for that, because there is a bit of age shaming that goes on, not just on Bachelor, but on many a show. Like, and after a certain age, you're deemed as old. For example, Medina, 31. Guys, I'm 31 and I don't feel like it's that old, to be honest. So I get where Maria is coming from. Like, let's stop age shaming ourselves. Let's stop drawing attention to that. And she's like, done. Like, let's shut it down. And I 100% get where she's coming from. So then we see Alison getting some time with Joey and Lauren, her sister. Not happy about it. And I just went, I could go on this show with my sister. I don't know how they did it. That's crazy. Yeah. So then we see Lauren spiraling and getting in her head, and she's doing an ITM, and Joey walks in on it, and they basically sit down to have a conversation. She's in her head. So they sit down to have a conversation, and she's like, I want to go home. And Joey, he doesn't really stop her, to be honest, which shows me he probably wasn't feeling her as much. He's like, if that's how you feel, like, I respect your decision, you can go home. And then awkwardly she had this cake planned and they bring it out. It was so awkward. And then she's like, okay, I guess we should do the cake then, even though I'm going home. And she wanted it to be red velvet. It wasn't red velvet. It was just... So this is the scene that they had flashed to at the beginning. And then she eats the cake, throws it. She goes home. They don't even... Yeah. Wow. We don't even see her saying bye to her sister. Like, they were like done with her, I guess. But you know what? I'm glad she was like, I know what's best for me. It's time for me to go. Because had she stayed any longer and spiraled even more, she definitely would have regretted it. So yeah, we get to the rose ceremony. Also, guys, can we take a moment for the amount of sparkles on the dresses always at rose ceremony? I feel like next week I need to come with a sparkly dress for this rose ceremony, if there is a rose ceremony. You know how they how they schedule the episodes. Sometimes it's random. Rachel gets the first rose of the ceremony. Interesting. And then we see Leia, that's how you say her name, revealing that she didn't actually get a date, which I didn't clock onto. But I do feel like she's going to get a one-on-one, if not next week, very, very soon. And yeah, the final rose goes to Sydney, which I am not happy about. So we see Taylor, Erica, the girl that came dancing. I'm sure her name is Erica. And another lady, I forgot her name. I feel so bad. Go home. And yeah, that is that for this episode. Another great episode. I feel like we're really going to go on a journey with this season, guys. And I'm excited. Comment below. Let me know, who are your front runners? Who do you feel like you see winning? Do you have anyone you're like, that is the wife right there? I feel like next week I'm going to have more of an idea and I'm going to come to you guys with my predictions. Wow, that's really soon to commit to it. Because I do a Bachelor Fantasy League. So once we've all put in our names, then I'll come and say my name to you because I don't want to give them ideas. But no, I'm really enjoying this season so far. And I'm excited to see if anyone comments, even just one person. Like, I'm excited to build a community within Bachelor Nation. Hi, guys. My name is Leoni Joyce. I've been a part of of Bachelor Nation for probably... Let me Google it and get my facts. I've been a part of Bachelor Nation since 2012, which is insane. So that's 12 years I've been a part of this. And I've only just started reviewing it now. So I've seen ever since Ben's, I watched the Bachelorette who was, what is her name? Why has it left me? Desiree? I feel like she was next up. Anyway, ever since all of them, back to back, all of Bachelor in Paradise, everything, I'm locked in. I've been a part of it for a very long time, so I'm excited to finally be out with all of you guys on this journey. And yeah, hopefully meet many of you along the way, speak in the comments about the episodes, build a community. If I'm being 100% honest, like, I watch a lot of the podcasts that speak about Bachelor, but there's very few people that look like me speaking about it. So yeah, hopefully, like, other people who do look like me and do enjoy The Bachelor, we can connect and enjoy, but it's I'm for everyone. I'm a hoe. No, I'm joking. But no, yeah, like, it's not limited to this person or that person, but I do understand in terms of representation, like, when you see someone who looks like you, even forget what I look like, but just in terms of viewpoints, people who may share my viewpoints on The Bachelor, because sometimes I don't agree with what the majority of Bachelor Nation is saying, and I feel like I'm alone and nobody else thinks the way in which I think. So it's exciting to meet my tribe. So I'm very excited to go forward with you guys. So, like, I will be seeing you guys next week for the next episode. As always, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff I'm meant to ask you to do. Please do. And I'm just rambling now, and I don't really know how to end this. So I'm just gonna get